All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Musings on Tuesday. It's your buddy A-Rye. Nah, just out here exploring still. Ooh, and an update. Just kidding. I don't know. Like, I did this thing where I got a game to play with some friends, and then we don't end up really meeting up to play it. And like, I mean, not like that. Sorry, that sounds messed up. But no, it's just we're all pretty busy. I mean, like, my one buddy has a couple kiddos of his own. And he's usually more of like the stay-at-home type, but like, and they're at an age where they take a lot of extra care. So, not saying that mine don't, but I have split custody or shared custody. So, um, yeah. Anyways, yeah, really good situation because I also have some friends in not so good situations, and yeah, it gets expensive, it gets ugly. I mean, it's still not fun. Court is never fun. So, I don't know. Thinking about solutions to problems. I mean, because really problem solving is all we're doing a lot of, like in these videos, is that's what I really enjoy doing is problem solving. So, because it makes everything better. Makes your life better, makes people around you's lives better, and then that in turn makes your life even better. So, it is that reciprocating, uh, um, I wouldn't say exponential, but it definitely ripples outward and then inward. And it's a shame because just lack of understanding and lack of communication is really the root of just about every single problem. And it sounds like such a, relationship advice thing, in which, honestly, I've had some good relationships and I've had some bad relationships. So I wouldn't consider myself an expert by any means, but as far as observing human behavior and trying to understand why problems happen in the first place and how to do a preventative approach to solve those problems, well, yeah, that's right up my alley. So, I mean, still not a professional, but in fact, I think I've claimed many times that I'm a novice computer scientist and beginner cybersecurity professional. So, which just means I performed near the top of my class in a cybersecurity boot camp and passed the certification twice. Didn't take the actual certification because it's several $100s, but um, I'm confident with the practice as a guide for myself anyway. Like I mean, eventually I am going to get certified in both. Well, actually, I'm studying for the Network Plus, the CISA, or no, sorry, the CompTIA. The CISA is a cybersecurity certification as well, but I want to get a certification in Network Plus, and actually, I want to do my, was it CISP? CISP, I want to say, because that's what my entire textbook is centered around, because the one that I got for a class I took at CSU, and it was just one class. And that's why, like, even when I was graduating, I still was horrible at security. I mean, I made an email and I didn't do any recovery information for it. Like people now, you'd say, like, what, really? Like, if you're in the tech field, like, you didn't set up a recovery email or multi-factor? Or, I'm just kidding. A lot of people don't know about multi-factor still, and that is like the main way that you thwart cybercrime, just period. Multi-factor authentication means that you protect all of your sensitive accounts and even your non-sensitive ones. Who cares? Like, at this point, like, especially if you have an authenticator app that just generates random numbers, like, well, they're not random. They're actually calculated very, very precisely, but they're reoccurring, or not reoccurring. How do I say that? They recalculate every, what, I think it's 30 seconds. And unless you're privy to the exact algorithm to generate those, so many digits, and see right there, like, I mean, someone would actually have to like download the app, count how many digits they have, just by me saying so many digits already. Like, you're letting people know, ooh, lavas. Um, that's why it's kind of good to travel at night. You can see a lot of these like lit up areas, which this is interesting. Oh wait, what is this from? I mean, now it's becoming daylight, but there is very specifically light here, and it looks like a ray, like through there. So you can even still see it, like dark, light, dark. I shouldn't be running around all this because, like, I mean, I'm trying to be careful for lava because that's what I figured it was. Since we just saw that back there, I don't know. That's one of the mysteries. So, anyways, problem solving. You solve a few problems. You solve mostly all of them. and it's really interesting. Ooh, oh, is that like a sunken jungle temple? Oh yeah, this is that weird phenomena where the grass spawns on the sand, but then over time decays because grass cannot exist on sand. So it's like I imagine the underlying logic or the code underneath is doing something like, generate the land and then throw grass all over it, but for whatever trigger that stone is, because you don't see grass on stone, or maybe you do, actually, now that I think about that. Because even as I say that, let's go look at this gravel pit. Any fans of Wu-Tang would know about that. Um, yeah, see, grass on the gravel, and it will decay over time. Over time. See, boom. Okay, that was really cool timing. Um, but I kind of knew it was coming, or I didn't know. I had a hunch. See right there, those had already popped. I think it's because we loaded this chunk, and then it starts the countdown timer to when they pop. Oh, wait, wait, wait. We are going way off. I don't know, honestly, if like you get swimming, I feel like it's a little faster than normal running would be. Like every time you're a kid at a kiddie pool, you just swim in like the very shallow water. As long as you don't. Oh, see, I broke it. Now I'm running. Now, but then once you get down, you get. It's like Flappy Bird. You can only accelerate so much. Or Jetpack Adventure. I did that scratch short. I need to do some more of those because that was really fun. I got a book at a book fair for the kiddos, but really for me. And well, for me for the kiddos. Oh, and even there, I can see like these dots. Looks like teeth, blue teeth on the bottom of the map because I just didn't explore it quite enough. I think. I could be wrong. Yep, see, already one disappeared. Hmm. Those might just be like that. Sometimes it just be like that. Oh, yeah, no, now you can see, like, the blue ones that are still there. Well, no, I'd even say one of those three. I don't know. It's really not that big of a deal. Big of a deal at the end of the day. Once I put this back on the map wall, um, like, you have to really miss it. I mean, granted, I don't know. Like, yeah, but uh, ooh, it's an interesting looking ocelot. It's like a Garfield, like almost. I mean, it's kind of a little light to be Garfield, but yeah. For those of you that don't know, Garfield used to be a cartoon. Well, now it's a cartoon cat. Never mind. A lot of people probably know Garfield, but back in my day, Garfield used to be a cat in the Sunday morning cartoons or comics that you get in the newspaper because everybody got a Sunday paper for free. Then you had to pay for every other day of the week, which I don't know. Like that's bittersweet. I feel bad for newspaper companies, news companies, but at the same time, I don't. I mean, the waste generated by so many papers and it was like I don't know, a big industry, but then you think about how much is saved by going digital. Like, I mean, I'm actually subscribed to the local newspaper, and like, even though I don't read it all that much, like, I mean, it's not super expensive, but again, the costs are a little lower. Well, I can't say that for sure because then you got to take into the consideration the cost for the website and the cost for still getting the same content. Like, you got to pay your journalists, you got to pay, your content writers or, what have you. Actually, I don't know. Sorry, I was thinking about like what would be the legitimacy of trying to get like streamers and YouTubers to be the source of news. Like I don't know. Like I feel Twitter's getting better. It's still not great. Like I mean, there's still a lot of random nonsense and and Reddit's good too. Although I honestly don't go to Reddit all that often. In fact, rarely ever. I made like one comment and got like an upvote or something and it was all cool and like, hey, but then I don't know. I've heard a lot of toxic things about Reddit, but at the same time I've heard a lot of toxic things about Twitter. And honestly, Twitter's not that bad. I mean, ooh, I honestly think it's gotten better. I mean, I've seen a lot of controversy because of Elon's stance. And granted, I understand why Elon leans Republican. It's not because of any of the crazy. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know him all that well, but I do know that he is very wealthy and he is the target for a lot of taxation, specifically this Biden wanted to target like the very rich people, which I mean, I do support to a point. Like I feel like he is doing a lot of good with his stuff, even though he is like making insane amounts of money. I mean, I don't know. It's also kind of a dangerous. Oh, sorry. To finish that thought real quick though, is I understand it because someone that has all that wealth and is being targeted as like basically going to be paying for a lot more than anyone else. But at the same time, it's fair. Like I mean, this country helped make you the way you are, so you pay your dues to make the country great. Like although granted, and not to sound like a MAGA slogan or anything, but like this infrastructure thing. Like we've got tons of jobs. Like people are working like, and even though it is temporary, they're going to gain skills and that's going to better suit them for other work. And then that also, so it not only provides workers with skills so then they can have a better chance landing a job, it provides workers better skills so the people hiring the people will have a better assurance that this person is actually going to be able to do a good job. So, and if you keep them happy, like, I mean, I was building like massive wind turbine blades, like, you know, tons of them, tons of them. I mean, I only worked there for a couple of years, but like, so I kind of needed to get back into a desk job, and it was really fun though. Don't get me wrong. It just didn't pay as well. I mean, and understandably so because like it didn't require a college degree. And see right there, like people say that all the time, but then they don't realize like, wait a minute, that's because there was a cost incurred, hence they need to make more money. Now, if that cost wasn't incurred, then you wouldn't need to be making as much money and you could still live comfortably. Because, I mean, I was doing okay. I mean, I wasn't planning any vacations anytime soon, but at the same time, I was only there for a couple of years. So, like, had I gotten to like 3 years, 4 years, like, I could probably do Disneyland or something, you know? In fact, I'm still going to try to do that. But, like, yeah, it's just, oh, wait, shh. I mean, in the future, sorry, just like, I really hate to think that if my kids stumble on this, but they know who I am and like, and they have YouTube, but like we all watch it together. So it's like, I mean, and then if I see something that's like sketchy or something, I make them skip. Like I just like, no, no, no. And then, but I don't know. It's like, they have a pretty good judge of character, but at the same time, oh, even saying that. Oh, but even like Simpsons, you think about that. I was watching Simpsons younger than they are now. Of course, I was also shooting guns in third grade, so like, I don't know. I mean, and granted, that's not really even that sketchy. If you knew where I grew up, like in that type of community, guns were very common and they weren't seen as like anything dangerous. Well, they were dangerous, obviously. Like we all understood that because we all took hunter safety classes. Our parents made us. Like before you operated a firearm of any kind, even a BB gun, I want to say. Like I didn't get a BB gun until after I had my firearm training. And then once I did, I got an actual 22 rifle, which is about like a pea shooter, but a real gun. I mean, gunpowder, everything can kill somebody, like, very lethal if misused. But no. Well, very lethal if used properly, but then it's only animals as it was intended. I mean, because even in self-defense, I'm not buying that. Like, that's more if like you want to overthrow the government, you need to have automatic weapons. Like there are those concerns, like, and again, these are people. So this whole time I'm talking about this, like them and they, like, and not us. Like, no, it's part of us, part of our population, especially as America. I'm American, so half of my country. Again, South Park has a great episode for that. Um, where like half of the town is all Republican and half is Democrat, and it's like half are protesting the Iraq war and the other half are supporting the troops. But both of them agree that nobody should die, but yet the Republican half supports the troops by saying, you go get them and you go get that paycheck, because again, like that's a job, and without a war or a reason, again, why a lot of us think that 9/11 was an inside job, because that gave us a reason to invade like all over. And even if it wasn't a complete inside job, like I still believe there is a degree of complicitness. I mean, but what are you going to do about it? Like that, move on, that's exactly it. And I say that as seeing all this stuff with Trump, and now they've got an audio of him like basically proving that he violated the Espionage Act. Like, hold on, I need a drink and I might drown a little bit. JK, I know I've got plenty of time, but don't want to sit there making me watch me just floating. But no, like they got Mr. Or former President Trump on tape showing somebody. classified information, which isn't very classified now, which is kind of embarrassing. And again, I protest. I didn't actively protest it, not like with like picket signs and marching or anything, but I protested it as much as I was comfortable with. Like whenever we bring it up in discussion, I would argue that, well, first I mean, I was on the thinking that 9/11. Well, sorry, when that actually happened, I was way too young to really understand what happened because I think that was like when I was in middle school. Let's see, I think it was like 2001, right? Yeah, so I think I was like in eighth grade. So I graduated in '06. So, anyway, I'm actually the same exact age to the day. Oh no, there's some doxing information. Yeah, whatever. I mean, if people use birthdays illegitimately, like, I just did a bunch of training to hunt people like that. So, please don't do it, but just know that I know a lot of people that are going to be looking for it. But anyways, Hillary Duff. Just because that is such a cool thing to say. Like, she was so fine back in the, I mean, she still is, I'm sure, but I'm also pretty sure she's married and has kids and is like not in that stage of her life. But I just thought that was fun because I saw that on a Burger King placemat when I was out in Oregon on a road trip. And like, it was also, it's the same birthday as one of the popes. And so now people, like, if they're trying to get like, you know, OSINT on me to try to hack me or something, they're like, oh, let's go look up all the pope birthdays. But you really can't do much with birthdays anymore. Like, I mean, you kind of can, but like, it's very easy to track. I mean, because, so here's what I'm saying. Like, even just like 5 years ago, we didn't have this literal army. Sorry, this music is getting ridiculous. I'm like trying to like yell over it. And I can't get out of the forest. And this is where like mobs would be spawning. I'd be fighting them, and then I'd be like trapped. And oh, it was a no good day. Whatever. Yeah, this is. I was looking at the map to see. Whee! And I saw that magma piece too. That thing that'll suck you right down. Wait, where'd it go? Okay, never mind. It was over there, but let's see. Wait, where am I going? No. Wait, what? Was I really just? I didn't even see that the wall dead ended right here. Oh gosh. Okay. Oops. Yeah. I don't really like doing this because it is kind of tedious. Like, it's better to just climb the face if you can. Oh well, dirt here, so there's good chances that will break through. Okay, anyways. Oh, it's still thick forest. And then tree, because I was looking at the map. Anyways, what I mean by all that is, like, I'm against any imprisonment for any serious length of time. Now, oof. Sorry, I also just realized what I was doing. I definitely do not need orange terracotta, but I do need crying obsidian, and to be careful to not step in lava. Anyways, like, I'm all for punishment. I mean, he violated, like, the laws of the land, but also, I need punishments to make sense. I mean, and for everybody. Like, actually, maybe even not for former President Trump. Maybe he needs to be the example. But, like, just so people understand that, like, prison sucks. I mean, I've never been, but I know enough people that have been. And I've heard all the stories. Like, not all the stories, obviously, but, like, enough to be, yeah, that's not somewhere to go to heal. And, like, when you think about it, if someone does something bad, you know, which would you rather? Just, you know, punish them and just keep them angry and keep them, like, wanting to do evil, bad things or whatever, or, like, especially to you. I mean, maybe they'll clear up for everybody else, but they'll remember you, like, you know, it's like, and that's not a threat. I mean, like, people take stuff way too far, but, like, ooh, let's take, actually, no, I'm more interested in this gold. Although I guess I don't need, sorry, I saw that thing. I don't need all this sand, really. I mean, but I mean, a lighter and iron nuggets. I don't know. Even that, now we're down to like splitting hairs, and it's just not worth it because, like, the lighter doesn't matter. The flint and steel, sorry, but you know, Zippo. I don't know. I still want Hunter Biden to go to prison for 5 years. Not because of the laptop. I don't think the laptop is anything. I think that's just a nothing burger, like some people are saying. But no, And sorry, not to try to get all political, because I feel like that is in bad taste, but it is important because, and don't get me wrong, I have many Republican friends and family. So, and I tell them this too, patiently, calmly, and I just say, this is what I dislike about them. And this is what I dislike about my own party because I don't, no, I mean, the spending, yeah, a little worried if it's true. Like, and I'm still confused about this whole debt thing, like defaulting and all this. And like, I was watching a YouTube video about like how what was that? I think it was like, it was related to zeitgeist um, too somehow. I think, but they say it like some weird way, like the prequel or no, they're like the addendum. Yeah, I think that's it. I think the addendum. But anyways, it was talking about how banks loan money against the money that they have, and they only have to have so much in reserve. And that's true. That's why bank runs are a very real thing because they actually don't keep all of everyone's money there. They loan it out, and then they make interest off of that money. And then, but and now we're seeing a thing where like people are just going to circumnavigate the banks, like because they're too greedy, they're too demanding of money, or they've stretched themselves too thin. So it could be a number of reasons, but the bottom line is, it doesn't matter. I mean, people are going to figure out more efficient ways to live and pursue happiness. That's our, our God-given right. No. I mean, technically, God, if you follow the Christianity side, gave us dominion over the birds and the air, the fish in the sea, and basically all the animals. And that's actually a Tech 9 verse. But it's also a Bible passage. But that's just funny because I used to listen to a lot of Tekanina. I mean, he's great. And you know what? Like I met him. I delivered pizza to him. Oh, I meant to say this on one of the other ones, but I didn't. I delivered pizza to him in Fort Collins when he was here. And man, I felt so bad because, like, first I thought I knew who it was, and I saw all the people outside, and I should have asked for an autograph, but then I was like, and he kept looking at me like he was waiting for me to ask him for an autograph, and but even if I knew how it was, I'd be like, oh hey, how's it going, guys? Here's your pizzas. Love your work. Have a good night. Like I'd probably be more like that. Like I don't really care for, I don't know. Like, because I could just say that story, and I know it's true. Tech knows it's true. All what I did say was like, man, $3 on a $30 order. It's like, man, tech is cheap. But I'm just kidding. He's a person like us. Like if he's out there trying to feed, he even has a song about how hard it is being away from his kids. And I didn't follow the rest of that, but like at least I know at some point in his career, he took the time to create something. And mind you, it's a lot harder to create a song like that than it is to create a YouTube like this. Like I understand that totally. That's why I bought a lot of his music. So I was about to say I stole a lot of it too. No, I'm just kidding. We copied CDs for each other, but I mean, one of us bought the album and then and we bought several and not just us, like the people we looked up to because we had to learn about it and they weren't ones to loan us CDs. We had to go get our own. So then, there was a market driven for that and it was illegal too. Like we had to have parental permission to get it. So not illegal, sorry, but there was a catch, but technically we weren't supposed to be a target audience, but most of our parents really didn't care. They're like, a few bad words, like, what? But I don't know. It was also kind of funny because, like, I'm just kidding. My parents didn't say that. We had to, like, be sneaky about it and figure ways around it. But we still got it. I don't know, like, parental advisory. God, I remember Chronic 2001. Not the Dre Chronic, because that's, like, the white album, like, or the white CD cover, but I haven't, sorry, I say CDs because that's what we use. I know there's albums and all that, and, like, I don't know. Anyways, the one with the weed leaf on it, like the dark mode one, basically, because there was like a light mode one and a dark mode one, and of course they were different CDs, they're different albums, whatever. But like, yeah, the Chronic 2001 just hit hard. I don't know. Sorry, I just went way off on a tangent there, but basically, some of the most clever people I've ever met have been cannabis users. And that's just funny to me because, like, and Cheech and Chong out there, they're looking great for being how old they are. Like, I keep seeing their ads on the Twitters for their gummies, and which is just funny. I mean, because they're all from hemp, which, I mean, that's some ingenuity right there because hemp is legal nationally. It is, and it has very, very low concentrations of THC or percentages anyway. And so if you do cultivate a massive amount of them, you could, yeah, in theory, and probably like apparently, I mean, granted, I wouldn't put it past these guys to do something like that, to pull a stunt, just because they are like wealthy and famous, and I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, I was doing stunts. I just asked, like the Chinese government official to legalize weed, like multiple times. I'm just kidding, and I know a lot of that is like they take it in stride. They do what they will with it. But I mean, I'm just hoping they actually like look into Colorado's economy, Colorado's like just statistics, maybe come out for a visit. I mean, I'd be more than down to show them around, but I mean, I'm sure there's better people to do that, like government people and like police and stuff. But I mean, or even their people too. But like the ambassadors would be some official people, and I'm not an official anything. I'm a system admin, junior, officially junior, but like I don't know. We just go by system admin now. And that's fine too. No complaints. My gosh, I love my job. I'm so happy. That's why I'm so secretive about it. Because I say some pretty outlandish stuff on here, and I would really hate for. Ugh, I kind of cringe too, because I know some of them, like, they've seen some videos, I'm sure, but like a lot of my videos are pretty tame before the musings. I mean, they're more goal focused. Oh, actually, let's talk about that. I need to make some coding videos, so let's start getting into a coding mood. I mean, politics, yeah, it's always going to be rough, but I mean, I think if we, oh, sorry, real quick, let's talk about that. If we just got money or got rid of money in campaigning, we'd fix all of that because then you wouldn't have to basically buy votes, like literally buy votes or buy pardons. Like now there's a bunch of controversy, like Trump sold a bunch of pardons, and so now it's like, ugh, which but then I don't know. Aren't we all buying things at the same time? Like there's the argument for relationships. Like you spend the money, and like, but yet prostitution or adult work is banned and it's illegal. At least in some places, a lot of countries in the world it's not, which is funny because we pride ourselves on being the land of the free, and it's like there's countries out there that, yeah, they've got more freedoms than us. Like, I mean, and that's that religion. That's that separation of church and state because it's the shame that is imposed on, I should just say hardcore Christianity because it's not just like Catholics or Baptists or, one or the other. Like I've met, how do I put this? I've met people that are more concerned about those parts of the Bible than society's concerns. Because I don't blame them for it. I'm annoyed by it, but I don't blame them for it because they're people and it's part of how they're raised. Oh, actually, wait. I think we were going to leave that chunk because that's where the portal is. I mean, the portal's actually going to be to the left where I'm actually coming out under at. We're going to leave that chunk because then it's going to be, in fact, we'll even cut it off. It'll be easier to tell. I don't know. I'm doing that weird random vacuuming and lawn mowing thing. Anyways, yeah, politics, like if it was all town halls and to register to vote, you had to commit to 1 hour, at least 1 hour. If not, I mean, you could attend multiple sessions as long as you were polite and respectful. And see, that's the thing, polite and respectful. If you're not, you get kicked out, and then you have to try again on another session. And if you get kicked out 3 times, then you just don't get to vote. You don't get to register. Because everybody should be able to conduct themselves in a manner that they can find out their issues and solve their issues together. I mean, we're adults for crying out loud. Like, you know, and it is. It's religion and people's unwillingness to understand that it needs an update. Like, it's actually pretty good, but it is heavily flawed. And I'm sure, I know Islam is too. Like, in Judaism, I don't know. I feel like that one's probably the more sane ones, but again, not perfect. Like, anytime it's dangerous to, it depends on what degree you're willing to sacrifice for the deity that you believe in. That's, I guess, like, how far are you willing to go? Because there's people that have killed homosexuals for being homosexual. Like, that's how far they went, and that's dangerous. So that's why it's a dangerous thing. As it is, it could be fine. Anyways, enough of that. Politics, religion, the two taboos, the not too fun to talk about. Let's talk about Python. In fact, let's see, like, how much. Oh, yeah, I've got like 1 minute. Wait, is it? Yeah, literally 1 minute. Let's talk about Python. All right, maybe I'll just go make a video, or maybe I'll just make a second one of these. All right. Yeah, I'll go get something to eat, make another one of these, and we'll talk Python because, or maybe I'll just make a Python. Yeah, I keep saying, oh, maybe I just will. We'll probably do both because I mean, it's still a good idea. Actually, let me keep going while we talk. It's a good idea to do this. I did this with Borderlands 3 too, so or as well. So if you want to watch an earlier version of me rambling and ranting, they're long episodes. Oh, Illager Outpost, very nice. Um, then yeah, I do a whole series on Borderlands 3. I do another one of Minecraft, which I don't know, in my opinion, isn't as. Yep, there's the alarm. I went a little longer than 30 on the alarm, but I love how it goes all the way down and it's in water now. Like that is so cool. I mean, I'm still not wanting to go fight him and stuff, but now I know that if I probably should take it out of peaceful. Like once I explore, maybe shore up my base. Anyways, I digress. I'm rambling. Until next time, friends. See you later.